My friends, let me speak of wisdom. When we look around us, what do we see? A world shackled by fear, governed by anger, subjected by hate, permeated by lies. We see evil all around us, beckoning us to close ourselves off from one another through shutdowns, well, except for rioters, looters, and anarchists. Instilling fear of one another through an unseen enemy, a virus. What has become of our liberty, of our freedom, and our right to self-determination? Have we been lulled into a false belief that the intellectuals, the specialists, have all the answers, even to the point of forcing us to accept the removal of our right as a free people to congregate, to worship, and even sing together as guaranteed by our Constitution? Since when have we, a once free people, given over to government the very rights given by God that no one can take away? You see, when anyone seeks the total control over the soul of the people, they must first convince them that the state or the government authority assumes the power of God, thus replacing God with the state. That is socialism. Think of how easy it was to convince us in this very country that the specialists have an almost divine power and knowledge to save us. Keep in mind that a specialist really is someone who knows more and more about less and less. It would be the greatest mistake to give up our hard-fought freedoms to those specialists with an agenda that will lead us to an overwhelming control of every aspect of our lives. We, as I say, a once free people, with a press that was the guardian of our freedoms, that kept government in check, has now become what throughout history has shown us to be the very tool of the state and the destruction of our personal freedom, the silencing of religious speech, the suppression of anything that contradicts the powers that be, is the beginning of the end.
About the 2 scoops of ice cream, which was kidding off the top, but apparently this little nugget came out of this Time magazine piece where apparently the president gets 2 scoops, everyone else around the table gets 1.
The protests in late spring were mostly peaceful.
Mostly a protest. It is not, generally speaking, unruly.
Our country was started because this is how the Boston Tea Party, rioting. So do not get it twisted and think that, this is something that has never happened before, and then this is so terrible, and where are we, and these savages and all of that. This is how this country was started.
The rewriting of history, the destruction of our past, be it good or bad, enables those powers to indoctrinate the masses with their own version of the truth. Without the past, we would make the same mistakes as so many other countries who have succumbed to the doctrines and ideology of those who would steal religion, rights, freedoms, to impose their authoritarian, socialist, evil power over a once free and God-fearing people. Slowly, day by day, using the specter of a virus, they have chiseled away at our freedoms in the name of your safety, your own good. They have taken away the education of our children, the right to make a living, our ability to gather, our freedom of speech, our right to the pursuit of happiness. Oh, they cite the Constitution, but use it, as they even use religion to persuade us of their concern for us, at the same time instilling hatred and distrust of our founding fathers. They, the leftists, have been teaching our children for years that the family unit is part of an evil plot along with the Judeo-Christian values. What does the left want to replace it with? Power over each one of us? Control of every aspect of our lives? Look around you. People jailed for singing in a choir, prosecuted for defending themselves, others threatened for gathering together to worship. Freedom of speech is silenced by the mainstream media and big tech. Are we living in communist China? Is this the Soviet Union, Cuba? We are the United States of America, and if we, as a people, are to stop this insane rush to totalitarianism, communism, socialism, whatever you want to call it, we must seek the virtues of true wisdom. But what is it? Is it wisdom a politician who quotes the Bible? One who uses the saints to justify his leftist communist ideology? No. Wisdom is not in how much you know, as those who constantly cite their acquired degrees in education, nor is wisdom found in our universities, most certainly, neither in political correctness or even in our specialists. But rather I have found true wisdom in the poor, those considered useless because of their social class, some who couldn't even write their name, the most humble among us. It is in those who have been neglected by the political elites that have true wisdom. For wisdom is not how much you know, but what you know, permeated with love. It is impossible to find true wisdom among the very young, or in one who is filled with anger and hate and fear. For the love of God, seek always the wisdom and love which brings true peace, true growth, both individual and social. This will happen only if we remain one nation under God, with liberty and justice for all, not just the liberal elites.